But it might be a bit longer depending on how long it takes me to get through these two levels. Um, but the plan is that when I finish the South Pacific Island levels, that I'll be doing the final levels in the game next Monday. I absolutely hate these enemies because they will poison you. See what I mean? Hey Rosie, welcome on in. Hope it's going well. Moving through the level ahead of time to show the differences. That way I can just go through without stopping and starting the process every time I get to a new spot. Unless there's a spot that opens up that I can't access yet in photo mode. Hello, Carbon. I am having a good day. Thank you very much, dude. I hope you're going well too. Thank you for the lurk while you work. Muchly appreciated. And thank you. I definitely will have a great stream. The South Pacific Islands have 4 levels in total. And I did a stream earlier and finished 2 of those levels. So now after my break, I've come back to finish the next 2 off. Thanks for joining, Carbon. And thank you so much for leaving the lurk as well. Rosie, what's next after Tomb Raider? So the way that the scheduling is working is that this Thursday, the game that I'm going to be starting, which is a surprise game, will actually also be the game that replaces Tomb Raider. But I won't be finishing Tomb Raider until next Monday. So Thursday and Friday this week will be surprise game, and then when I finish this game on Monday, the surprise game will then take the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday spot. Never have, Rosie, no. No, the surprise game is one that I haven't played before or streamed before as well. But there's no point guessing what it is, because even if you do guess right, or anyone guesses right, I won't be confirming. Rosie, can you give me a clue any way that you might place a private bet? Just the genre, Rod. Come on. No, I want it to be a total surprise so that when people tune in on Thursday, then they'll know what the game is. I can tell you it's definitely not going to be something like Skull and Bones. That's for sure. Rosie, how about console generation? Just the general era. I can't remember the quote that the character Sherlock Holmes said about when deducing something, but no clues, no hints, nothing that could be put in a list of possibilities that then can get crossed off or narrowed down or triangulated. Because saying the genre would then limit guesses to every single game that falls under that genre. To limit the actual console generation would also go hand in hand with the genre to act as a process of elimination. When you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. That's the quote, Rosie. Yeah, thanks for reminding what the quote was. But yeah, there's just some games that I like to have them be a surprise for people because it helps create a bit of unpredictability for the challenge, for the channel, I mean, because I'm very formal with my scheduling in terms of games, but I like to keep some secret sometimes and a surprise because then that way it breaks the expectations that people might have on what's going to be streamed any particular day. Rosie, you spent middle school reading every Sherlock book, also some Agatha Christie. Oh, nice. Yeah, I never actually read any of those any novels with those characters in them, but I have actually seen some things adapted that includes them. This part here we've already seen, I've already shown. So what I'm going to do is go back here because there's multiple paths that you go down in the kayak that's coming up soon. Alright, so let's show this here. And there's sometimes too where I'll do a bonus stream of something even after a scheduled stream is finished. You know, like there might be a scheduled stream on a certain day, and then after that stream I might just randomly go back online again with something that I didn't say I was going to stream. You know, just things like that. I like to do sometimes too. And I want to do a lot more when there's something that interests me and it's just come out recently. I want to make sure that I'm jumping on top of that. And so that's why when the permadeath mode for Assassin's Creed Mirage dropped, I integrated it into the schedule because I wanted to do a stream of it on the very day. Well, it wasn't on the very day that it was implemented, but close enough. Plus, I've also toyed about doing random streams at different times, my time as well. Then there's times where it's like, it might be 1 or 2 a.m. in the morning already, but I'll start a stream of something, like I did with the Tomb Raider 1 remaster when it dropped. It was available to me 2 hours after. I mean, it was available to me 2 hours before I started streaming it that day. Because of time zones here in Australia. It puts us a bit ahead. Hey Stan, welcome. How's it going? Agatha Christie always fooled you. You could never guess the killer correctly in any of the books that you read. Not having read any of them, I don't know how I would go myself. But I guess that's the mark of a true great storyteller, especially with... Because the thing is, right, like, there'd be so many different shows and books that have covered all the same kind of thing, so it could be down to the writing skill. So if someone is not as good a writer of mystery as another writer, then the person who isn't as good, their mystery might be solved by the reader way before the writer reveals. Whereas a really good writer, it might take until maybe a few seconds before reading and going, this might be the person. I know this process is taking a bit for this level, but there is a lot of twists and turns. And just want to cover as much as I can ahead of actually making Lara go to that spot. And any aspects I can't access through camera mode at this time, I'll just basically cover when we get to it as Lara. Rosie, you've since learned that Sherlock's primary tool was in fact induction and not deduction. So what is induction in comparison? Rosie, not that he realized as much himself. Hello, Senny. Good day to you, dude. It's going really good. In the previous stream, I finished the first two levels of the South Pacific Islands, and in this stream I'm going to finish the next two, and then that'll mean that next Monday I can jump into the final four levels in Antarctica and finish the playthrough. So I've just gone through and shown ahead of where we are, the differences in the environment between the two versions. Instead of waiting till I get to each place as Lara and then do it, I've been actually going ahead of the level with the camera and showcasing the differences. Crooked? Right, I thought this was your first stream today. Then I saw the Discord message. That's fair enough, dude. Yeah. Yeah, I actually finished it earlier than I expected. There's also a couple of shortcuts I took in terms of like not going down a route that might have a lot of items that you can pick up, like ammo and stuff, but I wasn't sure if I was going to fit it into one stream because I wanted the separation to be 2 levels per stream. But yeah, it's going really, really good. How's things going with you? Rosie, well, deduction is arriving at the answer by process of elimination. Crooked, you're good, thanks. Just came back from the morning walk. You think she's a little bit knackered from the weekend, but the energy is slowly getting back. I'm glad to hear that you're going well. That's really cool. And that you and Nalo had a great walk as well. And it's funny, dogs can seemingly sometimes just get all this energy boost from out of nowhere. Rosie, while induction is inferring the answer with clues provided, rarely is enough information known even to Sherlock for deduction to work. Ah, okay. So induction is inferring the answer with clues provided. Rarely is enough information known even to Sherlock for deduction work. Well, that's the thing too, like, I imagine as well that some things because there's so many things that we as humans can do that is imagined by us, then it would make sense too that sometimes the solution to something or who has done something is deduced or thought of by the imagination. And so if we can imagine that something can be done, then depending on what that is, because obviously if we imagine that the murderer teleported out of the room, that's obviously not going to be true, because that's not possible. But if one was to say, because the killer left this clue, if I use my imagination, maybe this might be the kind of places where they might hang out. So how about we go to the places where they might hang out and ask around and see if there's anyone who might have known or seen that person or someone like that, you know. Kokodo, yeah. You mean as soon as she sees a dog, it doesn't matter how exhausted she is, adrenaline takes over. It's like, I'm tired. There's another dog! There's another dog! Run, 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 run. Hey, Grace. Good time zone to you as well. Welcome on in. Hey there, Hermione. Who's there? Hermione who? Hermione is going to blow. Nah, get to the cover. Get down. Get into the chopper. Take this, you son of a bitches. You'll never get me alive. Nice one, Hermione. Thanks for redeeming that Arnie impression as part of the knock knock joke. How's things? Damn enemy poison. I hate these. I said at the top of this stream, I said I hate those enemies because of when they poison you. Hermione, you spent the entire morning today coming up with that? Well, that's really, really cool. It definitely paid off. That was very, very clever. That worked out well. Thanks for redeeming that. Redeeming that. Things are good for you, but your son's heel infection has gotten worse. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear about that, Hermione, that it's gotten worse. Hopefully there's something that can be done to reverse. But that really sucks, Hermione. I hope that things start to look up for your son really, really soon as well. It'd be hard too when, there's nothing that you can really do in terms of like, if there's something that can be done, that's one thing. But when it's something that, it's not like you can click your fingers and make it stop being the way that it is. Of course that would happen. Lara wasn't 100% out of the gap there when I stood up. Maybe I don't even have to go that way. Maybe that just leads to like a secret or something. No, I think I've got to go that way. Yeah, I've got to go this way. See, they've got a bit of reach. You can pull your guns out when you're crouched, but that doesn't really help me with this enemy. That son of a bitch of a thing. See, the timing is just perfect. No matter when you start to stand up, the timing is perfect for the enemy to get to you and start breathing on you. See, by the time I can stand up and jump, it's already too late and it's gotten to me. There we go, finally. Hermione, thanks guys, you really appreciate it. He's a bit under the weather, but he's relatively happy. He can't stand on that foot, but he's lying down in his play area playing with cars and things. You just arrived at uni, but your wife and your dad, who's visiting, are home with him. Well, that's really good that there's some extra support there as well, Hermione, while you're at university. That will definitely give you peace of mind as well. I'm glad that he's still relatively happy, though, in spite of that. But really sucks, too, on top of things, that he's under the weather as well. Just when one thing is enough, to have something else on top as well. Yeah, I didn't even fucking need to go that way. Wrong way. Hermione, you should say math, physics, and pedagogy. You're going to be a full-fledged math and physics teacher come May this year. Well, that is really cool, Hermione. That's not too far away either. It's crazy how quick the first couple of months of the year have been going by. Pretty much, Hermione. Yeah, it's only like, a few days away. But yeah, we're starting to get a change in our seasons here again. We're actually going into autumn now. And then after that, my favorite season of the year will be winter. Gregor, I thought you liked the hot weather so much. Oh yeah, there's nothing better than waking up in the mornings, feeling sweaty and trying to concentrate and do things and be relaxed and calm. It's a great time to be able to do that. Have a shower and then already be sweaty before you even get out of the shower. It's like, Hermione wrote it so weird to you that it's autumn where I am. It somehow doesn't seem right. Yeah, yeah, it is funny, you know, those kinds of differences too, as well. It goes beyond just being, time zone differences. Carbon, you were thinking about going back to Italy and start teaching some years ago. It is still a possible plan for you. Let's see how it goes. Oh, absolutely, Carbon. And I really hope that it's a wonderful time and that you really get the best things out of it that you're hoping for. Hermione, of course, you know about the Earth being a sphere and its axis of rotation being tilted and all that. It just feels wrong. Exactly, Hermione, you know. You know the actual technical scientific reason for why these things happen, but that doesn't take away how it actually feels, you know. Like, I like to think of it in this way. If I told you that you had to sit down for 5 minutes and stare at the clock for the whole 5 minutes, not taking your eyes off it, and then after that I told you to do whatever you wanted that you loved doing for 5 minutes, I betcha that even though it's the exact same amount of time, sitting there and staring at the clock for 5 minutes will not be as exciting or make the time feel faster as opposed to doing something you want for 5 minutes. It's interesting when our mind is occupied and we're doing something we enjoy, how quickly it goes by. We know that a certain amount of time has gone past, but it doesn't feel like that amount of time has gone past at that speed, you know. It feels faster, or if you're doing something boring, it feels like it's going slower. Sometimes the awareness of something affects the feeling that you have with it as well. It's like when someone eats something that they say, "This is really good. What's in it?" "Oh yeah, we put some snails in it, we put some flies in it too." Knowing that, the person might be like, "Ugh, that tastes disgusting." But a moment ago, when they didn't know that was actually in it, they thought it was great and it tasted delicious. I guess in some ways it's like Schrodinger's cat. You know, the cat is neither living or dead inside of the box until we observe the cat. That's a good trick. So in the original version, that would give me a little bit of health. That that crystal. But in the remastered version, it's just a collectible. But putting that as a trap there is really, really good of them to do. There is water nearby that Lara can drop into, of course, but it's quicker this way. Hello, Cody. Good morning to you, dude. How's things going for you? Hermione, that's absolutely correct. Einstein once said, trying to explain the theory of relativity, when you're with your dearest, an hour feels like a second. When you put your hand on a hot stove, a second feels like an hour. Yeah. I mean, the observation of time, you know. And then there's like, and speedrunners, would definitely, know this. The difference between getting through an area in a game quicker than another isn't necessarily always due to what looks the quickest, you know. Sometimes it's about what actually feels the quickest. And so if you're going by your feeling, it may feel like you're doing something quickly, but if you were to actually look at the starting position and the end position and then count how much time has passed, it might actually not be as quick as you felt it was. It's actually longer than you felt as well. And of course, it could happen in the reverse as well. Cody, you're going great. Excellent. That's really good to hear, dude. I'm glad to hear that. As for me, I'm doing really, really good. Having a good Tuesday. Hermione, oh, your Schrodinger comment reminded you of a joke. So Schrodinger is in the waiting room at the vet. After a while, someone comes out and says, Mr. Schrodinger, I have some good news and I have some bad news. I both see and don't see what you did there. Nice one, Hermione. That's a good one. Cheers, Cody. Thanks, dude. We're in the South Pacific Island levels in this game, and I did the first two in my other stream, and now I'm doing the next two in this one. And then after that, next Monday, I'll be finishing the game off with the last four levels that take place in Antarctica. Hermione asked Schrodinger's joke, you both get it and don't get it at the same time. Cody, why are gaming headsets so expensive? Recently bought the HyperX Cloud Alpha Wireless and set you back €155. Does have a, oh sorry, pounds. Does have a 300-hour battery in there. Had them 5 days and still not charged them up? Really? Holy shit. That is definitely a very expensive one as well. But yeah, 300-hour battery. Holy shit. There's definitely a lot of time. plus 5 days, and it hasn't actually charged them up yet. Jeez. Well, it's a good thing you're taking the time to get it to the full charge. Here, this is a quicker way. Hermione, speaking of batteries, did you guys hear about new types of batteries being experimented on based on radioactivity? They can theoretically last for 50 years. Damn. Imagine basically never having to recharge your smartphone. Holy shit. But what happens if the equipment blows up when you're using it? Cody, you know, you meant you've not had to recharge. Oh, you've not had to. I get you now, Cody. Sorry, I got it mixed up. You've not had to recharge them since having them. Well, that's good. Hermione, they're used today in pacemakers, for instance, but not yet for general use. Interesting. I hadn't actually heard about that before. Hermione, yes, Rod. What happens then? Well, let's hope they build in good safeguards. Hopefully so. Yeah, because that would definitely be something. It's like you're just using your smartphone, and then all of a sudden, like the battery leaks or something while you're using it, or blows up or something, and the radiation comes out of it. Oh, well, that is a waste of time. That's it, Hermione. It's like be nuke time then. Mini nuke. Carbon, time for you to head to the canteen for lunch. Enjoy your day, evening, everyone. Thank you, Carbon. I definitely will. I hope that you have a great one. Would like to recommend people check out Carbon's channel if you haven't before. He's playing through Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Also a fan of Pokemon, so streams that too as well. And from time to time he also streams programming streams as well, doing computer programming, working on projects. A great streamer with a great channel, really cool streamer with a great vibe. So I highly recommend checking out Carbon if you haven't before. Hope you have a great one, dude. Hermione, a week after release of these batteries, mini nukes are going off all over the place. Yeah, I mean, you won't have to nuke the site from orbit to get rid of something. It'll just happen if you want it or not. Stan, Carbon is like in your top 10 Italians, definitely. Excellent, Stan. That's really cool. Carbon, that is absolutely no trouble at all for the shout out. More than happy to give you one. I hope everything goes well. You have a great one. Hermione, you chuckled out loud from that nuke it from orbit comment. Yeah, I love that quote from Aliens. I say we nuke the site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure. Okay, I'm not going to worry about getting that secret now. I must have thought that the crocodile was dead when I was in the water here last. And then that was the one that was attacking me. There we go. Stan, tough competition. Yeah. Cody, introducing the cam mode is epic, as you can check ahead of you. It really is, Cody. It's definitely come in handy. And the other good thing about it is that it lets you go to so many parts of the level. There's some doorways that it won't let you go through, so it does restrict you in that sense, but there's a lot of situations where you can literally go through all the little labyrinthine corridors and everything ahead of time, or even if you are not sure if you've gotten all the secrets, and you want to go back and look quickly without having to literally take Lara back there. It's good to be able to use that too. I wonder what this would be like with the modern controls using the canoe. Out of curiosity, I'm going to switch it to the modern controls just to see how it feels. Ah, yes, so they've put L2 as go like that. R2 is backwards. Oh, yeah. So even in modern controls, it still feels the same. There's still the same amount of tension between moving the actual, and I'm using the analog stick. There's still that tension that you feel, which makes it feel difficult to kayak. So pretty much in terms of how it feels, modern controls and 10 controls is the same. Whereas on 10 controls, you just push forward to go forward. All right, that's the easy part. Hermione, all right, Rod and Chad, you're going to do some work. Lurk time. Enjoy Rod's shenanigans. Thank you so very much, Hermione. And thank you for leaving the lurk as well. I hope that work goes well for you. You got to be careful in this kayak as well because you can actually take damage while inside of it from landing. Obviously, you can take damage from inside of it when spinning blades or swinging blades cut you. But I mean to say, when you go down rapids, if you just go down full speed, you're going to start losing health from the drops. And then there's situations where, because of how much pressure you need to apply to move forward, when you need to actually stop moving forward and move back, you've already slightly gone a bit too far forward. And trying to prevent Lara from always spinning around is hard too. See, I took damage from that. It's one of the other things that's annoying about this kayaking section. And I was pushing back as much as the game would allow to go down that as slow as possible, yet still did damage on that little tiny jump. Here we go. This is where we needed to get to. Payback time. Oh, I've got one of these annoying enemies first. Alright, that's them dealt with. Okay, unfortunately I had to use some health, but we got to where we need to go. And I say unfortunately when I have 44 small medipacks and 18 large medipacks, but that's a small amount. That's not that many. Grace. Rod, carries equivalent of an ambulance and health items. Also Rod. Oh god, I've had to use a band-aid. That's a good analogy, actually. Yeah. Good one, Stan. Alternatively, you can kiss the boo-boo and save on having used the band-aid. Western medicine. It's like you want to be healed? Just believe you already are, and then you will be. If only. In the original version, you couldn't move the camera 360 degrees, so being able to now means that it's easier to accurately know how far Lara can monkey swing until you reach the point where the fire will touch. Stan, back in my day, we were healed by shamans and sorcerers. It's just like, I've got a sore arm. No, you don't. I don't. Yeah, what are you talking about? I don't have a sore arm. It's good. Healing done. Grace, you have harassed the streamer. Your work here is done. Definitely would not classify that as being harassed. That's for sure. I think I said in yesterday's stream about the character in the Tremors movies, Burt Gummer, and how he brings all these weapons in Tremors 2, all this ammo and everything, and they're like, "You really going to need all of that?" Or something to that effect. And he's like, "When you need it and don't have it, you'll sing a different tune." I've always remembered that quote. So, to bring that back to Tomb Raider, the reason I keep a lot of health kits is when I need one and don't have any, then I'll be like, why didn't I save those health kits? But then, of course, there is also being overly cautious as well. But I like to think of it as kind of like a meme for the channel when playing Tomb Raider games. Cody, big fan of Tremors. I really like the first and second ones. I've seen the first 4 that they did, but I haven't seen any of the ones beyond that, though. I mean, I'd like to, because I know that they might not all be great, but I really like the second one a lot. The first one's probably my favorite, and I think overall that's probably the best of the series, is the first one. But I really do like the sequel as well. But Tremors 3 is interesting, because Tremors 3 is a little bit of a return to the, return to the roots kind of thing. Back in the town of perfection, and all that kind of stuff. I like how back in the 1800s, in Tremors 4, that the town is called Rejection, I think it is. Not perfection. I thought that was brilliant. But yeah, that fourth one, it's not like I think there's things in it to enjoy. It is amusing, having an ancestor of Bert who doesn't start off being interested any way whatsoever in guns, like does not want anything to do with weaponry, but then by the end of it becomes a gun nut, setting in motion the lineage of DNA being passed down from one Gummer to the other, where they're just obsessed with weapons and ammo. Rosie, have you ever run out of health kits? I never have, unless maybe my first playthrough, maybe, of certain Tomb Raider games. But the majority of the times, I like to save as much as possible. It's same with ammo, like, if we look at how much ammo I have for weapons, I've got 18 grenades for the grenade launcher, 10 rockets for the rocket launcher, 1,835 for the MP5. I've got 0 for the Uzi, so I started to use a few of them in the previous levels that had dinosaurs in them. Desert Eagle, I've got 103. I need at least 50. I think 50 or 60 for the final boss, but I've got a lot, so I'll be able to use that up my sleeve. And 42 shotgun shells. But I stick with the pistols for as long as I can, because then I'll build up as much ammo for the other stuff as possible, and then that way, when I really, really need it for enemies that are going to be a nuisance, then I'll switch as well. So I've got a lot of ammo still for those sorts of weapons. Cody, I am completely out of ammo. That's never happened to me before. I love that moment in Tremors 2. Aftershocks. It's a great moment. Grace, in reality, they actually make you show up at work and do things if you want your paycheck, and they've got this really big thing about showing up on time. Ugh. Your job is full of awful people, clearly, so you guess you should get ready for work. Yeah, Grace, that's the thing, The people that you work with can definitely, make or break a job sometimes as well. But yeah, that's definitely fair enough to get ready for work. I hope that despite it being a place that you're not necessarily bursting with excitement to go back to, I hope that it is actually a great shift for you. Would like to highly recommend people check out Grace's channel if you haven't before. Grace is playing Cult of the Lamb, which I've never played before, but I've seen a lot of. And if you haven't played it, but you like games that have a very, very, cool and interesting art style, plus a really cool premise, you're actually a lamb that starts their own cult. And it's also a game that, if people are streaming it and they've got it all set up for it, you can even interact and have your own sort of like you can make your own follower and call them what a name that you'd like and stuff as well. But yeah, Grace is a great streamer, very welcoming as well, and very good vibe also. So definitely recommend. Hey Sir McDonald, how's things been? Hope it's been going good. Welcome on in. Grace, oh, you actually really enjoy your job, just being your typical idiot gremlin self. That's okay, Grace. That's good. You got me. I thought you didn't actually like your job. Thanks for the shout out. You need to stop by if you can and get yourself a member in the cult. Yeah, that'd be really cool. Because I've done that once before when Lucinda was playing through the game. But that's no worries at all for the shout out. Absolutely no trouble. Hope that work goes well. You have a good one, Grace. Catch you again soon. No worries, Cody. I'll see you when you get back, dude. The thing about these old school games too is that Lara, until we get to the sixth game in the series, well, I should say I'm not going to be streaming the other Tomb Raider games directly after this one, but in general, it wasn't until the sixth game in the series that they allowed Lara, when climbing walls, to actually climb on an angle. So in these older ones, if you want to actually climb up something, you can either climb straight up or straight across. You can't do diagonals. But then again, I shouldn't call these the older games because, well, even the sixth game is an older game now. I mean, it came out last year. It came out it celebrated its 20th anniversary. So I guess you've got like the older games, which are Tomb Raider 1 through to Angel of Darkness. Then you got the old games, which are Legend, Anniversary, and Underworld. And then you got the newer games, which are the 2013 reboot, Rise and Shadow. That's what I get for trying to have some kind of, you know, while the music's playing, have Lara casually just walk, forgetting, of course, that I've got to do this as well. So a quicker way to go across things like this is, because Lara has her hands and feet on the wall, when you go like this, it's that speed. But her speed when shimmying is faster than her speed doing this. So give yourself enough room and then let go of the action button, but then quickly press it again and hold it down, and then start moving straight away. And Lara will do this instead. She'll shimmy across on it, which goes a bit faster. make me use one of my fucking health kits? Jeez, I don't fucking know. Alright, so this spot wasn't available to me using photo mode before when I was going around and showing it in both graphics, so I'll do that now. And I've shown this though. This leads back this way. Hey Cody, welcome back. Oh. So, what this does, or what it's supposed to do, which it doesn't look like it's done from this angle. Let's go over this way though, and see if I can show it. No worries, Cody. The game made me use one of my health kits again. Now I've only got 40 something left. Anyway, I'll show what that has done when we actually get to it. It'll be quicker. There's a part coming up where there's a massive drop and you will take damage anyway, but if you don't have full health, or at the very least the maximum amount of health needed to still have health left when you drop, then you'll die from the impact. Alright, so this bell, or whatever you want to call it, has been lifted by Lara now that we raised it. This drop here. So you will take health. You will take damage, I mean, at this part. Then it leads down into here. I'll show this in both graphics modes while I'm here. but you still kind of need to slow down on this as much as you can, because you can also take damage from little bumps as you go down. Actually, I don't want to waste shotgun on this. So we'll select pistols before I forget. Oop. Alright, so now that I've taken care of those enemies, I'm going to make a save. And now I'm going to go back to the start. And we're going to go and do a tour of the location and comparing the graphics from the remastered to the old school ones. As far as the camera will let me go. And then we'll keep on going. And then when we get to the next section where I can showcase stuff, then we'll do that too. Just want to check something first. Okay, so we can't go through this. Wasn't able to go too far ahead, unfortunately, but we've done this section now. Just to see what it looks like when they're moving in old school graphics. Oh shit, I went load, not save. Fucking hell. Doctor, thank you so very much for the follow. The enemy has the boss has a shield, so you have to wait until the shield goes away before you can do damage to him. Ah, hey there, Pilarenko. Thank you so very much for all the lurking that you have done. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so very much for all of that. And thank you for choosing to say hello in chat. Thank you so very much. Very excited to see me play the remasters. Excellent, that's cool. I'm glad that you were. I've been looking forward to playing these since they were announced. Very happy with what they've done. And when it actually finally arrived, I couldn't help but do a stream of it as soon as I was able to because um, with the time zones the way that they were, I was able to actually play it, pardon me, after midnight when it came out. So that was really cool. But thank you so much for all the lurking that you've done, and I hope things are going well today. Hey there, Donna. Welcome on in. Thank you for the lurk as well. Muchly appreciated. How's things going? I know that their health is going down, but we've literally reached the end of this level. So we're almost done. And Postler Co., thank you so very much for the follow. All right, so we've done all the locations that you can choose the order of. Nevada, London, and South Pacific Islands. You can do them in any order you like. The reason I did it in the order of Nevada, London, and then South Pacific Island is really only about the Nevada level, because in the Nevada levels, the second level of that, Lara gets all her weapons, ammo, and health taken away. So if you don't wait, if you choose to wait until you do Nevada last, out of the other two locations, you're literally going to be losing all the weapons, ammo, and health that you've amassed in London and the South Pacific Islands by doing Nevada last. So I do it first. That way, I have more of the game left to build back up the ammo and stuff that I lost. The only thing that they give you in that level in Nevada where you get all your stuff taken away from you is one small medipack. That's all. So now that we've done those three locations, we can now do the final levels of the game, which is in Antarctica. There's going to be a cutscene that's going to play. I'm actually going to let it play, but I'm not going to make a save at the start of the level because I'm going to leave this to act as a recap in the next stream, because the next stream of this won't be until Monday. So that way, in the Monday stream, I'll be able to reload the save before picking that item up, and then the cutscene will play again to act as a recap for those people watching then. You're doing very well, Donna. That's excellent to hear. I'm glad to hear that. As for me, I'm doing well. Had my other stream earlier, and I did the first two levels of South Pacific Islands, and now we've finished the last two in that section. So making good progress. Things are going really good. And this is what that looks like in the old school graphics. The map. Globe.
This is Hamlet's to base. Come in, base. Come in, base. Dead air, man. We gotta get down. This is too much. Hold on back there. That was Harry.
And there we go. That is the FMV sequence that plays. So the only thing that they haven't done in the remasters is redone the FMV sequences. All the cutscenes that are with the in-game graphics, they've actually remastered, but when it comes to the FMV sequences, those were just left the way that they were, obviously for the remastered version, though. They did do something to them, but just to make them playable and decently viewable as well. But all the other cutscenes that are in this game in the remaster, they've actually done with the remastered graphics as well. Just to mention that, just in case people were like, how come that wasn't the remastered graphics? The FMV sequences were used in a lot of games in the late 90s and early 2000s as well. This game came out in 1998, so they were getting better when this game came out. And I don't know what video software they used when they did FMVs. I think it was Bink or something like that. BNK or something. Not too sure. Florenko, you're good. You felt like it was finally time to chat because you've enjoyed the streams for so long. Playing through AC Origins DLC, Lara and vehicles just don't get along. Well, that's awesome, Florenko. I'm glad that you're going good. And that's good of you to do as well, because sometimes you just don't know. You know, like when you are watching someone stream for a while, you don't know whether you want to chat or not. But for people who don't, that's completely fine as well, because I think all streamers should appreciate everyone who's lurking, even lurkers who might never even chat. You know, I think it's good to be appreciative of everyone who lurks. But that's awesome, Florenko, and I'm glad that you've been enjoying the streams as well. It's really good to hear. And that is such a great game, AC Origins. I love the DLC for it as well. The Hidden Ones is probably my favorite out of the two, but I also really like Curse of the Pharaohs as well. And that's true, Lara and vehicles just don't get along at all. I love in the chopper how it's kind of like, the pilot is just gonna die, and Lara's just like, I'm out of here. And then he's like, ah. Cody, it's not get to the chopper, it's get away from the chopper. Exactly. Run! Get away from the chopper! Now! So this is where I'm going to end the stream. Sorry for how short it is, but I wanted to specifically separate how much time I was spending for each stream to make it work in the long run with the schedule. So Wednesday this week, I'm going to be jumping back to Assassin's Creed Mirage to continue my permadeath run of that. On Thursday, I've got a surprise game that I'm going to be starting, and that's going to be Thursday and Friday this week. Then on the weekend, I've got Red Dead Redemption 1, doing my annual playthrough of that. Then next Monday, I'll get back to this game and finish off these Antarctica levels, which will finish off the remastered playthroughs. The surprise game that I'm going to start this week on Thursday is also going to be the game that replaces Tomb Raider 3 when I'm finished. So when I finish Tomb Raider 3 on Monday, depending on how much time I have left, I might do a stream of that surprise game, or I might leave it until the Tuesday. But that's the current schedule at the moment. So the next stream of this will be on Monday, but the next stream that you'll see from me will be Assassin's Creed Mirage. And if you see me streaming that, then you know it's become Wednesday for me. We're going to go and raid out to Crocodiles, who's playing through Uncharted 3. So we're going from one action-adventure platforming parkouring franchise that also had a third entry, of course, to raid Crooked, who's playing another third entry in a action-adventure running, jumping, climbing, platforming parkour game. He's played through Uncharted 1 and 2 now, but he's up to Uncharted 3. So we're going to go and raid and see how he's doing with that game. You've been really loving Curse of the Pharaohs personally, Florenko. I don't blame you at all. It is just so good, and what I like is that there's themes of character and all that which carry across from the main game into that DLC as well. And they really fleshed it out greatly. Before we raid out, I just want to give out some shout-outs. Zereth, yell them. By the way, been lurking. Yell out the shoutouts. Well, that would be very accurate. Thank you so much for the lurking that you've been doing, Zereth. That's muchly appreciated. Would like to highly recommend people check out Carbon and Grace. Carbon has been doing Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, also a fan of Pokemon, and also does from time to time streams of computer programming. Grace is playing through Cult of the Lamb at the moment, is also a great streamer, has a playthrough of Red Dead Redemption 2 going on as well. So definitely recommend those two streamers if you haven't checked them out before. Here's a general raid message that people can feel free to use. I'm going to put one in chat for followers. These emotes are free follower ones. I've got one that I've had active for these Tomb Raider streams, so I'll put that in there. And I've also got one for subscribers as well. Hey, Stocks, welcome. You just finished a run, AC3. It was crazy, you're so tired. Well, I hope the run went well. Thanks for popping in, Stocks. So what part of, did you... Yeah, so you got through the whole game. So I hope the speedrun's been going well. Would also like to highly recommend people check out